Hey YouTube, I thought I would do a review of the Seiko SNZG13K1. The K1 in the model number signifies that the watch was assembled in Malaysia, and that's it. So there's the J1 indicator, which means that the watch was made assembled in Japan. There's the K1, which means that the watch was assembled in Malaysia. And the way you can tell by looking at the watch is if you notice here, in between the 6 marker, you'll see a tiny number on the left. It's number 7536, but you won't see made in Japan. And on the J1 model, you'll see made in Japan. So I thought I'd do a review. I spent a lot of time looking online and doing my research. I'm a watch enthusiast, and if you're watching this, you're probably a watch enthusiast too, and you enjoy watching these videos and sort of getting all the technical details about what the watch is like, how it works, and what's important to you. So I thought I'd share some of that and hopefully it'd be helpful. So I got this watch 3 days ago. First impressions, it's awesome. Build quality is great, very solid. I picked this watch because it has a very streamlined design. It's simple, it's reliable, it does what it's supposed to do. It's not trying to be something that it's not, which all of the things, all of the styling cues and functionality that I look for in a watch. I don't want a watch that pretends to be something or that's too grotesque, unless the watch is supposed to be really big, like a diver's watch for someone who's diving, who needs to quickly look at a watch and know how long they've been underwater for. I'm not, that's not my day-to-day, so I prefer something that is easy, will easily tell me the time, something that looks simple but refined, something that's reliable. And so this is the watch that I found, and so far I'm really impressed with it. Build quality is great. There's been some discrepancies online, but it's about 42 millimeters, not including the crown. So it's 42 millimeter. The band size is 22 millimeters, and I actually measured it. So I measured it from here to here, and it's exactly 22 millimeters. So if you're thinking about putting a NATO strap on it, you can get a 22 millimeter NATO strap will do the trick on this watch. If you can do it with a 20 millimeter, you'll have a 2 millimeter gap, which is maybe about that much. So the choice is up to you. So the clasp is also really nice. It's a double lock, so it flips up, and then side button opens, and that's how the watch opens up. It's got a polished side and brushed front on the case, and it's brushed all the way around the crystal. It's not a sapphire crystal. It's something called a Hardex crystal, which is not as durable as sapphire. It also means it's not as expensive as sapphire. But from what I've read online and from reading other people's experiences with the watch for a long time, it's super durable. It is scratch resistant to some degree, shatterproof, all of that fun stuff. And this is the back of the watch here. Again, simple, not trying to be something that it's not. Not a whole lot of ornamentation. You can see the mainspring going forward. You can regulate this watch. If you see that jewel, that purple and pink jewel on the left there above the mainspring, there's a regulator bar that you can adjust to set the watch forwards and backwards. This watch has 2 dates. It has the date in English and the date in French. There's no setting of the date language-wise, so you don't get to pick English or French. You set the English version, and about halfway through the day, it will turn to the French version. So it will say Saturday, for half of the day, and then it will turn to samedi, which is the French word for Saturday. It clicks. Excuse me. The second hand clicks at 6 clicks per second. I slow mode this. I'm happy to put that video up, and so it's pretty precise. I've noticed it loses about a second an hour so far. So a second an hour is about 24 seconds a day. It's a little under half a minute a day. Over the course of a week, you could be looking at realistically about 5 minutes slow per week. So not super precise. Again, my day-to-day is not, it does not require that I have a super precise watch. And I think if you're looking for something that will give you second precision within or less than a second, you're better off getting a quartz watch. I wanted an automatic. This one is an automatic, 23 joules, 100 meter depth in terms of water resistance. No marking on the crown. I wish Seiko would have put a marking on the crown. They didn't. Again, this watch is understated, simple, streamlined, reliable, does what it needs to do, sort of how I like to live my life. So I'll put it on, clean the crystal here. I'll put it on so you can get a sense of what it looks like. It's got a really solid feel, but it's also mobile. It's not super bulky, comfortable to wear so far. It's, again, 42 millimeter, so just for comparison, it's smaller than a Rolex, the Submariner, for instance, which has 39 millimeter, so it's 3 millimeter larger. But I'm really happy with it. I like the way it looks. I like what it does. I like what it stands for, which is so important for a watch. I also really enjoy that it's all steel, including the band. I think it adds a sporty look to it. This is a watch, that you can rest assured will sort of always be there to tell you the time. It's reliable. If it gets dinged up, you don't have to be terribly upset about it. It's it's a $100 watch, but it's a watch that can last you a lifetime. I'm into flying, so it's a watch that I can bring up into a plane. Very easy to read based on the Arabic numeral markings on the face. Very clean face. And so, it fits the function of if you're, flying a plane, you need to know what time it is, or you need to know how long you've been in the air, or how long it'll be until you reach an approach, or whatever the case is. It's a quick glance, boom. You can see what time it is. It's 12:40, almost 12:45 here. 12:45 in the morning. So overall, really happy with it. The Seiko brand on the clasp, as you can see, right? So, and again, it opens up and then releases on the side. So I'm really happy with it. I think if you're looking for an introduction watch, or if you're looking for an everyday watch, or even a weekend watch, or a technical watch you can take on a boat with you, or take up into the skies with you, or if you're general enthusiast, I think this is a great watch to have. So my highlights on this watch: reliable, elegant design, streamlined, simple, not trying to be something that it's not. I would say generally precise in the time. Once again, from my experience in the last 3 days that I've worn it, it's losing about a second per hour. I have not regulated the watch, so that's just how it came. I think just it's an overall great design, great watch. I love Seiko's history and lineage. It goes back a long time. They're known to be reliable. You look all over the internet, and you can look at so many different reviews and so many people who've owned these watches and other watches by Seiko over the years. It'll be clear that it's a really reliable machine, and that's what the Japanese do. They build really reliable things, and I'm really happy with it. I will post an update in a few weeks and see how things are going, but I hope this eases some of you who are looking into this watch, not necessarily sure if it's for you, and I hope this video helps. I should add that it is an automatic, and automatics are prone to breaking with shock, like if you're swinging a golf club or any type of jerking motion. This is the sport model, and so the sport model has an anti-shock construction in the movement itself. And so again, playing off of Seiko's reliability aspect and the design of this watch, it's supposed to prevent almost, or I would say most, of the types of movements that could otherwise render an automatic watch broken or ineffective based on its anti-shock features. Really great watch. I'm very happy with it. I love looking at it, which I think is the most important part. I would do your research. Hopefully this video helps. And until next time, so long. Take care, guys.